Stardate 22/30/05/30. Subject: Homo sapiens, aka humans, Terrans. Planet of origin: Sol free, aka Earth. Record begins. Much has been written about the origins of humanity and their ascension to spacefaring status, so this shall not be repeated here. What is less widely discussed, although widely known, is the niche they have found in the galactic community since. Junk worlds are a fact of galactic life. After a certain point, the cost of building a new ship is less than that of refitting an existing one, and outdated tech often isn't even worth scrapping for raw materials, so these old ships get dumped. In order to keep some sense of order to the galaxy, there are designated worlds for this, junk worlds. Planets covered in a layer of twisted metal and polymetals a mile deep, the natural habitat of humans. Of course, many humans are found living completely normal, civilized lives on habitable planets, usually working as skilled engineers, but a large portion are drawn to junk worlds. They will live in shanty towns made from hollowed out spacecraft, and spend their lives scavenging junk that the rest of the galaxy consider worthless, and they create wonders with it. The frequent conflict between the shanty communities can have many causes, the most common being arguments over who has scavenging rights to a particular wreck. And these fights see the usage of some of the most advanced weapons in the galaxy. This is not a joke. They all create land speeders out of ejector seats, gravity manip engines, and excess amounts of duct tape. See Sol-free major exports for more information. That creates Mach 5 in atmosphere, and that's not the worst of it. One tribe, which has gained dominance over the majority of the Centauri 5 junk world, have developed a method to extract trace amounts of concentrated dark matter from ships' engines that weren't fully drained prior to scrapping. This is then polarized and hurled from trebuchets, a form of gravity-powered catapult, their rival tribes. The dark matter forms a black hole with an average life expectancy of 5 nanoseconds, just enough to swallow an area of approximately 1 square kilometer. Any survivors will then be chased down by the previously mentioned land speeders. Note, use of these by any other species is considered a sign of suicidal tendencies, and convinced to join the dominant tribe. On occasion, the humans will create fully functioning ships from the scraps they find, and leave a junk world. These ships are simultaneously considered to break every safety law in the known galaxy, and to be the fastest things created. With Juvian super boosters attached directly to the crew compartment of a volplane racing craft, one example was observed to be maneuverable enough to thread a course through the gargantua black hole field while travelling at 0.99 C in real space. Even more miraculously, 2/3 of the ship, and all of the crew, made it to the far side intact, with the crew reportedly saying, "That was awesome, but next time we're going to go full throttle." No one knows what the maximum speed they can achieve is. On other planets, they have been observed to connect and create giant networks of savage computers for purposes that are not fully understood, although in at least one case, visiting members of other species were introduced to a virtual reality of such complexity that none ever wished to leave again, as it was better than reality. This author's favourite example of human scrap tech, however, comes from Proxima 5, in which the human population were able to create a functioning space elevator. The cables are made from 20 different types that were spliced together. The station at the upper end is actually a fuel tank with life support and a docking ring bolted on. The ground unit that goods are delivered into is a retrofitted bleb star fortress. As much of the structure as possible has been covered in flowering plants, many genetically modified to survive in the upper atmospheric regions, for the stated reason, we wanted it to look cooler than that garden in Babylon. See Sol-free, Early History and Legends. According to current calculations, every junk world in the galaxy will be fully occupied by humans within 350 cycles, and all the junk on them will have been turned into usable technology within another 20. At this point, it is likely that the humans on these worlds will get bored and leave for new worlds. Our best projections show that conflict between these human tribes is likely to result in at least 50% of intelligent life being wiped out as an unintended consequence of the use of their weaponry. Therefore, it is proposed that the rest of the galaxy should start producing dummy ships to be junked immediately after production, increasing the amount of time that humanity can be kept distracted. Attempts to communicate with junk planet inhabitants invariably ends in attempts to haggle for the ambassador's ship, and an instance on viewing the junk world holy book, which is always a copy of the human movie, Mad Max.